Is Celica the worst new unit we've had this year? It's possible. We're gonna go over it. This is a weird banner. Let's talk about Nino first. We're coming up here, and we weren't off to a bad start. We've got a nice little floaty. We've got a beach ball. We've got Sarah Blandy. We like all of those things. Okay. Nino comes in, and we have Bouncing Ball. Okay. Oh, let's read the cheat sheet here. So this is Slaying, because most units have that now. Start of turn, if within 2 spaces of an ally, you get attack speed +6, Hexblade, and null penalties. It's actually pretty common for Nino. And then start of combat, if unit initiates or is within 2 spaces of an ally, you get an in-combat buff equal to +14 attack and speed. You get a true damage of 25, which is nice. You get special piercing of 50%, and you get desperation. All right, this is all pretty good. We talked about in the recent video about desperation and how good that is and how much you want it to be there. So having this built into the unit is incredibly handy. We have a lot of things. We have a max of 25 true damage and not much of a way to get over that. If we look at the other piece of the kit, we get Flare. That's okay. And then perfect attack speed, which is no follow-up. You're probably going to swap that out for Sly Swift because of, again, we talked about it, but true damage. Moving on, though. Let's look at what else we have here. Speed, res, lull, finish. It's even hard to read. All right. Inflicts. Speed res -4 on foe. Inflicts additional penalty on foe's speed res equals number of bonus effects on foe, excluding stat bonuses max of 4. Neutralizes foe's bonuses to speed res and reduces damage from foe's attack by 7 during combat. And also, if unit special is ready or triggered before or during combat, deals +15 damage during combat. That's true damage. And then when deals damage to foe during combat, restores 7 HP to unit. So, okay, that's not bad. Like, that's a pretty decent skill. Is this going to replace some of the others? Probably. That +15 true damage is actually very, very nice and might be the go-to B skill for true damage. So that's something to keep an eye out for. Black Fang Bond is up next. And if you look at the cheat sheet, we have start of turn, Canto 2, distant swap on Canto, which is nice, and +1 movement. This again is very common for Nino, but the distant swap is really nice. We've seen that a lot with the dagger skills, the dagger C skills, and it is incredibly handy for movement and great on secondary nukes. It doesn't usually happen on primary nukes because your capital is being used in other places that's not true damage. Then we get a preempt pulse, and no matter where you're at, you always get a -2 cooldown from preempt pulse, which again, very nice and is going to help you proc flare. Inflicts speed res -7. You get exposure and undefended on closest foes, and that is splashed over the other enemies around them within 2 spaces. And then as far as your combat effects, you get attack speed +5 and a true damage of +7, and that doesn't include AoEs. I came up with about 40 true damage. That's still very respectable. That's in that Elm range, and that's decent. This unit's going to hit fairly hard. Flat DR of 7, but remember the desperation. This unit is really supposed to go in and blast things and not have to worry about getting hit back. As far as the boosted damage, it's about 67. I had to guess on the stats there, and I think I guessed a little high, so that might be generous. But still, you're getting decent boost damage. You're getting pretty decent true damage as well. Even if I did my math wrong and that's 57, you're still going to be in about that same range where you're hitting hard, but not just amazingly hard. You will, if this unit got brave in some way, there is a means to be able to get more hits. More hits is better, and all of that stuff. Let's talk about where I ranked this unit, and after all of that, I've still got a tier 2 ranking. You're not going to break the tier 0. That she's just not there. Tier 1, those units have special things about them, and I struggle with what to do with Lucina because her hitting power has definitely decreased, but she is still a great nuke because of the additional support she adds, and that means she's everywhere. It is a unit that is everywhere for a reason. Lynn has less hitting power than you'd really want, but because of how unique she is, she magnifies the support you put into her. So we have that. Tier 2, if you remember correctly, these are the units that have something special about them, and if you work around them, they are very good and can be a lot of fun, but they aren't going to be your like core killers. You're not going to see Nino in a lot of places where she is the unit that's taking out everyone, and that is about that range there. This is still a decent ranking, and I think this is a good place for that unit to be, but she's going to hit harder than the other two units in here. That's just the way it's going to be. She's a newer unit. She does more true damage. This is a good Nino. This is where we take a left turn. Hard left turn. This is Lapis. And this is an infantry lance with a harpoon. We have a history of good harpoons in summer. And so we're going to come in here. This is built like a nuke. And that's the way I've ranked her here. There's a possibility she does get... Let's talk about it. So, Holland Harpoon. Tons of text. A nightmarish amount of text because this is a weird weapon. You have Slang. You have Canto of distance +1 max 4. And when Canto triggers, you can get a distance swap on ally. Start of combat, you get an Omni 14. Nice. Preempt pulse. Excellent. True damage of 32, which is high. That's a lot. Right now, you're normally seeing in the 25 range, and for the low, you're seeing 20. So this is very good. Flat DR of 20% of speed, which is nice, and an extra flat DR of 20% of speed versus specials. Both really good. Post-combat, if unit initiates, you get 10 chip damage to target, and that's splashed within 2 spaces, and you also throw Share Spoils to that same area. Share Spoils inflicts an Omni -5 and nullifies units' damage reduction. That's actually pretty good. It's not incredible, but it's nice that it gets splashed around. Everything is actually looking pretty decent for this. And then we get to this text, which So, if foe initiates and defeats this unit, grants foe another action. And I have read this so many times, and you can tell me in the comments, maybe I'm missing something here, but that is exactly what this does. And this effect has priority over other similar effects aside from Share Spoils. If this status and Share Spoils are both active at the same time, they are both treated as having been triggered. Other similar effects aside from Shared Spoils are treated as not having triggered. So maybe there is some text in there that I'm missing, and something in Shared Spoils negates this. And so if this unit has attacked, then this doesn't happen. Let me know in the comments. Regardless, any unit that has a self-destruct button like that, I mean, if that unit is defeated, then you have the possibility of the opponent getting another action. That's terrible. I don't care what kind of crazy things there are. I don't ever want that kind of a time bomb on my team. Like, this is no way. I have tons of issues with that. So let me know in the comments if I have read that wrong. I will post a comment up front and we'll figure that out. But right now, I'm not incredibly enthused by whatever is going on here. Past that, we can talk about more. Hey Slice is probably the go-to special. I love the damage reduction and everything else. It's fantastic. It's unpierceable. You have attack speed excel. We've said it a million times. Sly Swiss Sparrow is probably the way you want to go with this. But I mean, there is something to be said for not getting defeated by the opponent, so that is there. But attack speed excel, most of the DR is happening when you are in the player phase. So it's potent finish is good. It's not amazing, but it is good. I like it on units that have a plethora of true damage, and this unit definitely does. I will say that Speed Taker might be the better way to go if this is truly a pure nuke. I get more true damage out of it, and that is that is the way to go. That when you have a nuke, you want true damage. Pulse Tempest F. Start of turn, unit can move 1 extra space. That's nice. Grants bonus to units, attack, speed, defense, res during combat equals number of spaces from start position to end position. And that's a max 3. So most of the time you get 3. And also, if unit's attack can trigger unit special, grants special cooldown count -2 to unit before unit's first follow-up attack. I don't love the follow-up attack portion of that, but it does mean you're likely to get Haze Slice on the second hit almost every time. But most units, especially with Slaying, are already doing that. And so if you have this unit primed so that they're going to get Haze Slice on the first hit, then you're happy. Like this means you're going to get 2 hits of Haze Slice, which is nice. But that's going to be team dependent, and you're going to have to work that in. So just keep that in mind. It is neat. I like all of the different C skills that we've been getting, even though we come up with just crazy convoluted things like Pulse Tempest F. Even the names now are getting confusing. I don't even know. So, for the stat analysis, that's a lot of flat DR. Like 39 is really a good amount. That is, so this unit is going to have some good survivability. The true damage being 47 again is good. It's not elite, but I mean that's what Elm's getting, and Elm hits pretty dang hard. The boosted damage of 35 is a little disappointing, and keep in mind with potent you're going to get a lower hit. So this is going to be a percentage off of both your true damage and your boosted damage. So keep that in mind. All in all, though, so this is nice. This is really nice, except for the self-destruct button that this unit has, which just drives me crazy. Anyway, melee nukes. I can't put this unit above tier 2. And if she didn't have the self-destruct button, she would likely be at the front end of tier 2. But I can't do that. Like, this is the opposite of support. All of these other 2 units have support, and this is good support. This unit, no. There's an argument to be made. I don't know. Again, I have to see that share spoils interaction. I might be missing something there. There's a lot going on here in the kit. So if there's something in that wording that means that if they have shared spoils that they don't get the self-destruct button, I mind less, and this unit still probably doesn't move too much, because again, I mean, it's a little hyperbole saying this unit moves to the front. These other 2 units have very, very good true damage and have extra actions and usually support the team in some way. So I have issues with moving her above that. But tier 2, I just had an entire 3-hour-long melee nuke tier list, and tier 2 is good. Tier 2 is very, very good and very useful. So keep that in mind. This is a very good unit, and I think that's a good position for her. Palla looks incredible. I love the art. I mean, how can you not like Palla? This is an axe flyer. This is a demote with attack defense near trace 4. Which is a really nice skill for a demote. We have kind of past the point of that being an amazing B skill, but it is a very nice B skill and can be used in some different ways. So just keep that in mind. Fanon Foliage. At start of turn, if unit special cooldown is at its max, grants special cooldown count -1, so times pulse. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants an Omni +5 to unit and deals damage equals 15% of unit's attack. That's not bad. I've started rounding to 100 on a lot of these because normally it's close, but that's still a lot. That's a lot to expect out of a demote like this. So even saying that this unit gets 100 attack effectively and then gets 15% of that, it's not amazing, but you could say in round numbers, 15% of attack is something you can get up to. That's about all I have to say though. It's a good demote. This is not bad at all. It's an interesting axe to have, and it's one more choice. We love choices. Choices are great. This is a fun unit. I don't have much to say past that. You want the art to be good. The archetype is decent. You'd want Arcane Giant Axe, which you can get. And you can have enough out of inheritables right now to boost this unit into relative, usability. The one thing I'll say is it's going to be expensive. It is right now. Okay. Celica and Sarah, which I love the pairing. And I kind of love Sarah. So this is nice. So we have Celica. We have her sliding across and smacking Gulveg. So that's just not nice. Okay. So I have combined a few things here. So we have Pious Offering, and Pious Offering has an echo style. For this description, I think most of the time you're going to be using the echo style. We'll talk about what that is in just a second, but just understand that I have combined these two. This is the description of this kit or this weapon with the style. So you have Slaying, and for echo style, you get attack from 3 spaces and attacks twice at 60% damage and no post-combat movement. Remember that no post-combat movement doesn't include fixed canto, which makes no sense. I don't know who decided on that wording, but they were having an off day. We have Desperation, which is good. You have Piercing, which is on the special, which is not bad. And then at start of combat, if unit initiates or is within 2 spaces of an ally, you get attack speed buff equals 20% speed plus 6. That's not great. Not in the meta right now. I stat boosts like that, I would rather just see 14. That's because it's probably going to be about that, and it's less conditional. True damage equals a max of 25. You get no follow-up, and you get special cooldown +1 per attack. So you get special acceleration, and you get more of Magic Light, which we'll go over in just a second. So the Echo style conditions, you can only attack from 3 spaces. You can't attack from less. It's got to be exactly 3. And then you've got the weird counter attack only if it's a melee armor or has distant counter. And the range equals 2 for skills like Pious and Aegis, and you can only use it 1 per turn. Past that, we have Magic Light, which when special triggers, treats foes' defense and res as if reduced by 50% and neutralizes foes' reduced damage by X%. So we have full piercing and reduces defense. That's okay. It's not amazing. I think this is inheritable though, and that changes things just for having a piercing weapon or a piercing special. That is, I'll have to think about that. I might like that in a lot of different cases, but keep in mind the meta is ruled by true defense, by flat DR. And so that is, I don't know. I'll have to think about that. Right now, though, it's nice to have options. Slice with Sparrow, more true damage is good. Let's move on. Okay. Holy Soul of Zofia, which sounds like a weird curse. but here we are. So, we have, at start of turn, 2 closest foes and foes within 2 spaces. You get a debuff of Speed Res -7, Sabotage, and Discord. We've talked about start of turn stuff before. The problem is it can be cleansed. This is not great. Combat effects, you get speed res -5 on foe. You get true damage of 20% of speed, and you get miracle, and then 7 HP healing post combat. And then you get Canto of distance plus X, max 3. Max 3. It usually, anyway, so that's okay. The miracle is very nice and very Celica, but attack speed and sight hone is extra effects. We like extra effects. That's great. Let's go ahead and let this roll, and then we'll talk about the stats. There's some things here. This unit kills Gulveg, which we're like, that's what you wanted to show her going up against. But anyway, she does lots of damage versus Gulveg. So here's where things get a little different. This is the style. That damage at 60% is really tough. Really, really tough. We're going to come into Hathrin. We have 4 hits. This is not a whole lot of support that you're seeing. It is a whole lot of threat range. But we're going to come in, and it's going to take us, it's a 40 HP Hathrin. We're going to do 7 damage versus Aegis. Past Aegis, we're going to do 0 damage. We're going to go with Magical Light this time. We're coming in, we're going to do 32 damage, which brings the Hathorn down to 1. And the last one, we're going to do 4 damage. Okay. We're going to pause there because... Actually, no. I need to do this gripe now. We have a Harmonize skill. And in large letters, we have heroes equipped with a skill that has a style cannot use Harmonized skills. So, you can't use this with this kit. You have to put a different weapon on her in order to use the Harmonized skill. And it's not that great. Like, neutralizes any penalty, restores 40 HP, and grants Resonant Blades. And I mean, you can do it every 3rd turn. But... What? Why? I mean, you can't use this unless you take away her preference weapon. I don't know what to say about that. That is the weirdest design decision I have seen in a long time from IS. This ranks up there with giving... What was it? I think it was Fjorm who got the attack res unity and then negated debuffs. Do you guys remember this? This is up there with that decision. I don't get it. I am baffled. What? So before we get to the stats, we're going to talk about the Summer of Chrom, which Sprinkles from Sprinkles and Manic, the show, came in and did an amazing Chrom here. We have a Winner's Circle Chrom t-shirt, a wonderful mug, a Chrom Tone lotion, which is just the funniest thing I've seen. And of course, Chrom underwear and a Chrom bikini. All things that you never thought you would see in your life. And here they are on the FEHology Store. Go check them out for just like another couple of days. We have the sticker special where if you buy anything, you can get a free small sticker or $5 off whatever you have left over. Go check that out. Let's get back to it. There's always a possibility that I do these wrong. Understand that. But here are our totals. So,
I'm begging
the
you.
flat DR doesn't mean a lot for this unit because Miracle. And Miracle's interesting. True damage of 22. So, at that point, you're thinking maybe we can make it up with boosted damage of 15. What? I don't. So, okay, options. There are options. You can put Black Knight next to this unit, and Black Knight will hand you off reflective damage. And thank you. I had to have a quick talk with Infantry Pulse over this because I was having trouble finding any use over this for this unit. So that is a possibility. Keep that in mind. That is something that could help you in some way. Hey, that's terrible, guys. I don't even know what to say. I don't know how to sugarcoat that anymore. As far as the nuke tier list, I've got this unit. Like, putting this unit next to Nurgle feels unfair because I like Nurgle better. I guess I have them over Robin, over Duo Robin, but it's only because of the uniqueness of the range. This unit is, if you can get reflective damage, there's a possibility where you've got something, but we've seen this before, and again, whole 3-hour diatribe on basically true damage and boost damage and how it affects a unit. This unit just doesn't have it. I have never, ever told you guys to just flat skip the headliner on a unit, on a banner. And I'm telling you now, if I'm wrong, I will amend that in the comments. I am having a hard time seeing this unit. This is not a good unit. This is just not. I am a little bit baffled. Yeah, that's all I've got to say. That's it. And on that bombshell, go check out the absurdly long 3-hour melee nuke tier list. I promise, it's bookmarked. It's bookmarked. You do not have to watch the whole thing. You can just go straight to the parts you want. Go check it out. Had a lot of fun making it. Members, thank you for all that you do for me. And Emblem Hero coming up. It's going to be great. We're about to see some greatness. So take care and schedule an appointment with your FEHologist real soon.